Welcome, everyone, to the Sickos Committee podcast. This is our podcast for the evening of February 11th, 2024. The Super Bowl has just ended. We'll be doing
like an emergency pod.
We're doing a rapid fire pod tonight.
Emergency pod. Punts. Everybody. Punts.
It feels like in the old MSC3K when they had a movie and we're going, oh, it's movie sign. We all run into the podcast. Well, in case you don't know, the Kansas City Chiefs just won the Super Bowl in overtime. Commish, did you post the bevel yet?
I did not. Let's do that.
Yeah, do that right now while you're
live bevel.
Live bevel
Woo.
posting.
It's already in the. I already did it in the Photoshop.
Let's do that here. Sorry, I'm moving slow.
So
live beveling.
This game was secret Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Really not that secret.
Not even secret. It was
overt.
It was in the walls. And this wasn't even, there was some good defensive plays here. But like at one point, I think San Francisco had San Francisco had like 3 yards in the third quarter at some point. It was bad.
It was ridiculous.
So so we're going. Let me introduce people before we get too far, because otherwise Pitt Girl will get mad at me.
That is true.
I'm Jordan, and I've got Commish, Beth, Pitt Girl, and Joey, and Arthur on the ones and twos. I'm not going to ask you how things are going because I want to make sure we talk about the Super Bowl, because this was a big game that I was not expecting to be one of our big games.
It almost never is.
Right. This is usually a good game that we go, that was a good football game, and I have nothing to say about it.
No, we had a full-on punting is winning game.
Mm-hmm.
This was a special
on the Nickelodeon thing.
They did.
SpongeBob said, Iowa, it sounds exotic.
It does.
I don't know how they do the live action. They mocap someone, I guess.
They mocap the voice actor.
Okay, so Tom Kenny and the dude from Coach, Dauber from Coach, are sitting there.
Yep.
And they just mocap them. Okay, that's fun. I like that.
They had a video for when they did the Broncos game of him Patrick yelling his famous line, and they eventually released the mocap footage, and it is very funny.
I love it because apparently, I have my issues with the Jim Nantz Tony Romo combination announcing group, but
I don't know, Jordan.
But the Nickelodeon one was kind of fire today, and I'm happy that they did that because, I remember as a kid, I would have been so pissed off if Nickelodeon were showing the Super Bowl because I was not into football and I wanted something else. So I would have been kind of pissed off about that. But anyways, the Nickelodeon broadcast tended to be pretty good and was kind of wild. Also, it had the little captions for the players were really funny because they were just straight up making fun of them sometimes. They did mention it showed Andy Reid and was like, the Kansas City Chiefs score a touchdown, finally. And shit like that. They were way funnier and sassier than the main broadcast can be, which I like. Have alternate broadcasts and be sassy with it. That's good.
So my best friend, father of Godbun, was watching the game, and Godbun hopped on the keyboard and changed the channel to Nickelodeon when he wasn't paying attention, and he was very confused of suddenly why is SpongeBob everywhere. It was wonderful.
I love that Godbun has football opinions. I'm choosing to believe that Godbun, like me, got tired of hearing Tony Romo say leverage.
Knowing Godbun, this is absolutely probably what happened.
So I have 2 bunnies of my own, but I also have a cat, and we found out that my cat will sit down and watch football games. Only football. A couple weeks ago, I was watching a Bills game, and at halftime, I flipped it over to an NBA game, and she got up and left, and came back for the football game when it was at a halftime. So she sat and watched the Super Bowl the whole time. It was great.
As soon as Pitt Girl said leverage, it reminded me of that NBA playoffs promo for that show on TNT, Leverage. And if nobody remembers that show, that's great. But I'm just going to throw it in the chat because,
Oh, see, I was thinking leverage like the way John Travolta says it in the movie Battlefield Earth. When he's he's like, leverage. He says it super weird. He's incredible in that movie.
He
That
slipped
might-
back into his Mr.
that might-
Carter character.
That might need to be another movie night. If you guys haven't watched Battlefield Earth, it might need to be a movie night.
I've
that
seen
one
it.
is-
I've seen it a few times. I don't know why.
Okay,
but I
okay.
have.
Oh,
I
a
have
few times. Wow.
Yeah, it was just like the time in college where you got HBO free
Yeah.
for like 3 months, and that was the 3 months that Battlefield Earth kept coming on for some odd reason. So
Jordan look
I
on
watched
Battlefield Earth.
it.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Ooh, Dutch angles. Joey's
Barry-
going with the Dutch angles. I love it.
Barry Pepper was very good in Battlefield Earth.
So, did we have anything? Well, first off, it's try. We have to talk about it. So, any commercials anyone likes? The Michael Cera one was cute. I like Michael Cera. I did not burn out on him back in the day, so I like him. That was cute. I also was confused about the Jesus ones.
Can I say I need to get something off my chest, and you can edit this out if you need to.
That's fine.
But it looked like AI drawings,
Mhm.
and B, a couple of the pictures. I swear to God, like I burst out laughing at the last one of the foot washing one,
Yeah.
because it honestly looked like they took the first AI prompt and then said, "No, make the guy gayer."
It was really weird and off-putting, and I've seen those like the Just Us or He Gets Us things all over various like stadiums and stuff around here in North Texas. Like it's all over the place. But I didn't realize Jesus had Super Bowl money.
I mean, hot take. If you are a religious organization that has multiple Super Bowl ad money, perhaps that funding might be better spent actually caring for people who need help rather than putting up an probably AI generated ad, theoretically
From-
promoting that.
What was the?
I mean, you
the
say
Temu?
that now, but but remember that bootleg, like stolen Iraqi artifacts, are in fact a booming market, and you can make a lot of money that way there.
All
Super
this
Bowl
money
money,
is going
I hear.
into all this money is going into research to manufacture the world's largest eye of needle.
So we're gonna get that fucking camel through there. We're gonna get the giant ass camel through there. I'll prove it. So I found out what Temu is tonight because I did not know what it was.
I'm a user of Temu.
I
course
heard.
you're-
I heard of it.
Because you're like
I've
12
heard
years
of
old.
Temu.
Like Joe, you're like 12 years old, so of course you use Temu. It apparently is a Zoomer thing.
I must say,
Oh.
I must correct you. I found out through that ad, it's Timu. I've been calling it Temu, like Anaheim Mighty Ducks great Timu Solani, since I started using it, and apparently I've been wrong.
Before we go any further, Christianity Reply Guy, I know all about the Eye of the Needle and the Gates of Jerusalem. You don't have to. Thanks.
Oh, wow.
Continue.
We're just gonna send you to our mega pastor, Jason Kirk, if you have religion questions. I'm not answering those.
Is what is it? You said it's Temu, not Timu?
It's
I've always
Timu.
said Timu.
According to the ad,
It
which
looks
has
like
aired
Timu.
4 times now because I still have the Super Bowl on mute on my TV while we're recording, and it aired again. Evidently, it's Temu, but I really don't care. Although I will say, you guys saying that this is a Gen Z phenomenon. It has the same energy as young me being allowed to go to Dollar Tree with $5 and pick out whatever I wanted. It's that,
100%.
but
It's
online.
great for it's great for knickknacks.
Well, honestly, I feel like I don't think of. I'm gonna keep saying it wrong. I'm gonna keep saying Timu.
That's fine. Yeah, say Temu.
But
Tamiflu.
yeah, no. I honestly, I don't think of it as necessarily like a Zoomer thing. I think of it as like a Facebook moms thing,
Mm.
where
It hits both demographics pretty well.
okay, interesting, because like I don't associate that with Zoomers at all. I just associate it with like boomers on Facebook who are just like marveling at internet commerce.
So the thing with Timu is it also has a very, very generous invite code scheme, where if you invite someone, you get like $20.
Mm.
Which buys you like 4,000 things on Temu.
Yeah. So that's sort of where the Zoomer thing comes in, because it's Zoomer's first pyramid scheme. But I just use it for knickknacks. I got this little I don't know if you can see it's a bunny post-it note.
Okay.
There you go.
I mean that's all I see. Anyways, I didn't realize they had big Super Bowl money, but apparently they're a huge retailer that I am barely adjacent to.
They're the new
Along with
Wish.com.
So
Yeah,
I never use Wish either. So
I didn't
I'm, like,
either,
way off.
but like it's the same thing. It's like
Appa-
here's a Chinese
apparent-
venture capitalist.
Yeah.
Apparently, Temu and Shine,
Shein.
whatever,
Sheen.
whatever those. Apparently, those two have sued each other a bunch, which let them fight very much. Like, go for it.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I don't even use Amazon. Like, I'm just like, I want to hold something in my hand, Like, if I'm buying something online, it means like I've been to every store in Pittsburgh and I can't find it.
You're older. You are spiritually older than I am, which I appreciate.
Yins are
Like, that's
energy.
something my grandpa would do.
That's how the yins are do. It's fine.
Yeah, it do.
Okay.
It's also living in decent sized city energy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true. That is true.
I mean, I feel like Pittsburgh's kind of lacking in terms of stores. Like the one store Pittsburgh does not have is a Micro Center, and I mean, but like,
How do
yeah,
you
like
guys not have
there's
a micro center?
Pittsburgh doesn't have one.
What-
Honestly,
what is-
like it
what
was.
is this? I've never heard of this.
Okay. I want you to imagine. Did you ever go to like a Service Merchandise back in the day, or a Montgomery Ward?
Okay,
Yes,
Montgomery Ward is a name that
Okay.
sort of rings a bell.
Okay,
Yeah.
it going into a micro center is like walking into a store from 40 years ago. It is going back to the 80s.
Okay.
They sell PC parts, and like, so if you need like the power supply would go up my computer, I need one right now, I would go to Micro Center.
Okay.
So
they
it's
have-
Radio Shack.
It's between
So it's
Radio Shack
Radio
and
Shack.
Circuit City.
It's more like nuts and bolts. Yeah, like Radio Shacky, but they would have a bigger supply of like building my own PC stuff.
Is this
Okay.
that store where you walk in and you say what you want, they go in the back and get it?
No,
Or am I thinking of
that,
a different store.
that would be like Service Merchandise or Montgomery Ward.
Okay.
But like, it's a very 80s. Like, you walk in there and it's like all the checkouts are like those old terminal systems with an actual keyboard. It's bizarre.
Okay.
But like I said, if I wanted to buy a new GPU right now, I would go to Microsoft. That's the easiest way to get one around here. So yeah, that's usually stuff you would buy online from Newegg or whatever. Like
Okay.
Arthur was saying.
Yep. It's exactly. It's like Newegg, but I don't want to go to a store, which I never do. I never want to buy online. I always want to go to the store, and sometimes I'm forced into not doing it. Like I remember when I was in New York City for the Pitt Syracuse game, I walked past the NBA store, and I was just marveling at like, man, like you in New York City, you can buy NBA gear without having to deal with Fanatics shipping. The store itself is still Fanatics branded. It is a Fanatics experience, which sounds very hellish, but you can go in and like actually see the merchandise, know like, oh, is this a shirt that fits weird or a shirt that fits normal? Like if you live in New York City, like you can bypass a lot of Fanatics-isms of that experience.
I think there's an NBA store in Toronto as well. There's also an NBA restaurant in Toronto, like NBA branded restaurant.
Commish, did you have any commercials that you liked?
I like the one with Jenna Ortega and the two abuelas.
Yeah, the Doritos one. Yeah.
Yes, the Doritos one was pretty good. Dinamita, and I was like, oh god, it's my in-laws. But they're fighting over Doritos, hot Doritos, spicy Doritos. They're not dynamite. They're Dinamita.
And Beth, apparently there was a Sheets ad that I missed.
I'm not sure how far that one broadcast.
Okay.
Like,
I
I'm
saw
hearing disparate things, but yes, Pitt Girl and I both saw it, so it happened.
That's amazing. See, this is what I love to see. I wish like super micro targeted ads. You noticed what there wasn't a lot of ads for this year? Where were all the crypto ads? Where's Larry David being like, oh, I don't understand crypto. Is it a fraud? I don't know.
Someone must have explained crypto to him.
Weird about
It's
that.
probably because crypto is so widespread, they don't even need to advertise anymore.
Right. That's probably what it is. This game had everything. Not to go too stuff on here, but we had stuff like there was a kickoff that was a doink. There was a missed extra point. The only thing we didn't have was a safety, and I was so trying to wish that into the universe because that would have been the perfect thing. And I learned tonight because of the new playoff rules, the new playoff overtime rules, which are more like college rules, which makes me very happy because college overtime is correct, that there is the possibility for a walk-off safety in overtime. And that's that could have been a thing. We didn't get a walk-off safety. That would have been perfect. But close enough. We'll count it. That's fine. Any other fun Super Bowl stuff?
I really liked the Volkswagen ad.
How about that D, baby? How about that D, baby?
What is that?
How about that D, baby? How about
Was that
D,
you?
baby?
I don't know where that's coming from.
I think it's Commish.
What the fuck was
What
that?
the fuck was that?
That was Andy Reid talking about that D.
Oh, there
So,
we go.
yeah.
Oh,
And he was saying, how about that D, baby?
Breaking news. Beep, 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 beep. We have Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift hugging and crying on the field.
But no proposal.
No proposal.
There's a lot of money riding on it.
I do not see a proposal.
I just wanted, podcasting as a visual medium, I wanted to note that when that sound effect was going off, Beth and I both put our hands in screen to show that we weren't the ones doing it.
Not that proves anything, because it's a computer.
I wasn't sure if the computer was possessed. I would like to jump back briefly, though, and
Yeah, go for it.
appreciate both the Volkswagen ad, although Volkswagen, if you are going to lean so heavily on Beetle nostalgia, please just bring the Beetle back already. The people yearn for smaller Volkswagens. Bring the Beetle back. I also really liked, and I hated how much I liked the Paramount Plus ad with Patrick Stewart.
Oh, when they throw Hey Arnold? Yeah, it's great.
Where they throw Hey Arnold, and then they're like, wait, hang on. We got to throw someone with pig skin. And Peppa Pig just goes, oh no.
You're talking about the commercial where the whole conceit is that Tua Tagovailoa doesn't have enough arm strength?
Yep, that's basically the
Yes.
whole conceit.
Yep.
Can we talk about my least favorite thing tonight, which was watch the trailer online. Y'all, if you're gonna buy Super Bowl ad time for your fucking movie, don't make me go someplace else to watch your goddamn trailer.
Yeah, but the trailer's like
Well,
2
they-
minutes, and that costs way too much money.
They can't afford that. You know, they're just like, hey, we
What
broke.
movie was this for?
This was for a bunch of them. This was Twisters,
Deadpool was the one I remember.
Deadpool 3, Twisters,
Twister 2,
Twisters.
Too
Who
Fast, Too
asked for
Twisters.
that? Nobody wants
No one
that.
did.
Nobody.
Is it a soft reboot, or is it?
It looks like a complete reboot.
Okay.
Well, okay, here's my thing. I have not seen the trailer at all,
Mhm.
but I feel like I am generally down with the concept of like we're gonna make a bunch of movies about tornadoes. Like I feel like we need more natural disaster movies. We've fallen off a big time in terms of natural disasters movies. Like I know there were some flops like Geostorm, but I mean we need to get back on our like hurricanes, earthquakes,
Let's go.
volcanoes.
I mean, we had the
you guys
perfect
ever
storm, and I mean, you gotta
I am going to drop a
Gotta-
promo still from the movie in the chat,
do it.
which is just a woman being like, looks like she's being sucked out of a movie theater, like midair.
If we're rebooting Twister, we have to bring back Aunt Meg.
Mhm.
Aunt Meg is the best character in that movie. Aunt Meg is the model on which I am basing my entire life. And like all I have wanted since the first time I saw that movie at when I was on when I was with my friends was to be Aunt Meg. That is all that I want. And if I watch this movie and there is no Aunt Meg, I'm going to go storm the offices of the people that made this film.
Speaking of getting thrown out of a movie theater like that, did you guys ever ride the Twister ride at Universal Studios?
I did a long time ago, but yes, I did.
Yeah, I did. As I'd have to do the math. I can't quite remember, but I was young. I was max 8 years old, and I convinced my dad to let me go on that ride. And then 2 seconds in, I regretted it. And you remember, it's like an immersive experience. It's not like a ride. You stand on a thing and it shakes you. And I just remember, I don't remember the ride, any of the elements, any of the immersive elements, through my own tears, because that scared the hell out of me. And it ruined the rest of the trip for my whole family.
There you go. The other thing that I think that, well, no, it was just the Temu things that bugged me. Basically, I did see some great foods, y'all. I made the Andy Reid mac and cheese.
How was
Yeah.
it?
The 6 cheeses. It was really good. I could probably adjust a couple of things to make it better, but it was very good. I used Fontina, mozzarella, sharp cheddar, Gruyere, Parm, and there was a 6th one that I can't remember what it was.
Well, 5 cheeses should be good.
And Gouda. No, he says 5 cheeses should be good, but then there's a 6th one there.
A
So, of
secret
course.
6th cheese.
I did, however, use the cheater sauce. I used sodium citrate, which is a chemical that keeps cheese in emulsification. So any cheese can melt down. So you can have Parmesan, liquid Parmesan, which is great. But it is a bit of a cheater because I'm not using a roux. My apologies. It was great. I also made fajitas, which are always tasty. Anyone else have anything fun to eat?
Say that again.
I had fajitas.
No, that's not how you said it.
No,
I
you
said?
said that different this time. Okay,
Said
just checking.
fajitas?
That's why I asked you to
Why
say
are
it
you
again.
putting so much emphasis on the beginning of that word?
He
You keep saying
he was like,
fajitas.
fa.
Oh, okay.
Fajita. I was like, wait, did he? I was just saying it again just to make sure.
What did I fuck up last episode that people were dragging me for?
Mischievous?
I mean, I assume a lot of stuff.
I said mischief.
Mischief. Mischief.
I think that's
That's
Taylor
a rapper.
Swift.
Oh,
my
Ew.
God.
oh. I'm loving the podcast going back and forth in front of Beth. Like
It's
it's
just
been
the
like
tail.
the 10th time for real.
He's
walking across my keyboard every single time. Just now I got to scan your QR code in StreamYard.
The cat just going back and forth, and you just see Beth like, "What is the cat doing?" And then as soon as the cat passes, you can see Beth like frowning. I'm dying laughing here right now.
We don't get Super Bowl commercials in Canada. So this year what they did instead was they had Jerry D and Amrit Kaur, who are two actors up here. Jerry D hosts Canadian Family Feud. And they just stood, it was paid for by Doritos, and they just stood there and watched the American commercials and described them to us.
Wait, what do you mean you don't get commercials? Like,
We get commercials, but just the standard, like, what you'd see on CTV on a regular Sunday. We don't get special Super Bowl commercials.
that's weird. Okay.
Because, like, we're such a small market compared to the whole U.S. Why bother spending extra money on it?
That makes sense. Commish, did you make a ham?
I did. So I had basically it was a Christmas ham that I was supposed to cook for Christmas. The in-laws were supposed to be coming into town,
I remember this,
and
yeah.
I was gonna smoke a ham, and so the ham was good through February 20th. So I was like, gotta do it. I was like, okay. Basically, this is the last weekend I got to smoke the ham, and so I couldn't do it for Christmas because illness in the family, COVID for the wife, and then nobody came. So it just been me trying to smoke a ham, carrying two kids essentially. So I did it. I did. It was a hickory smoked ham, and then I smoked it with a combination of cherry, pecan, and I believe hickory pellets in the Traeger.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic. I did. It was like a bourbon brown sugar maple glaze.
It looked good.
It was very good. It took much longer than I thought it was going to do, but it was like a 10-pound ham. So I have a lot of ham left because basically it was just me and the kid eating the ham. So really, I'm going to eat a lot of ham. But the first time I did it, it turned out amazing. I wish it wasn't as windy today because with the smoker, it was tough to keep it at temperature, and that's why it probably took about 5 some odd hours. I was just chilling it low and slow at 225, but it was great. It was delicious. Good Super Bowl eating.
Pitt Girl, where were you at that you were watching pillow fighting?
Yes. So, couple things. First regarding Super Bowl food. Obnoxiously Pit Boyfriend and I have a small tradition where we make Velveeta queso, which is not fancy and not good for you, but we eat it once a year on the Super Bowl, which is always delightful. But yes, earlier.
So what do you mean by Velveeta queso? What do you put in it?
You get the brick of Velveeta, you get a jar of salsa, you mix them together in the microwave, and you eat it with chips. Not fancy, but satisfying for the Super Bowl. However, Jordan, I was out earlier, and I was at a brewery in scenic, adorable Carlisle, Pennsylvania, for lunch. And on the TV in this brewery, shout out to Molly Pitcher Brewing, they had ESPN News on. And ESPN News is pretending to be ESPN 8 The Ocho. And they were showing the Pillow Fighting Championship, which is now, I've decided this is going to be my korfball. This is the weird thing that I am adopting. It is very much like, it's like UFC, but you just have a pillow with a strap on it. You wail on each other with the official pillow, which you can purchase from the website for the low price of $79.99. They also have the Pillow Fighting Championship official sports bra. Just need y'all to know that exists. And the whole bar was like actively watching this until someone requested that they change it to Iowa Nebraska women's basketball. We watched like the last 5 minutes of that game. Shout out to ladies Nebraska ball for pulling the upset, by the way.
Yeah, that was insane.
But it was just immensely satisfying. There was a guy with Joker makeup on. Somebody in the bar at one point was like, you know, I would have thought that the Pillow Fighting Championship would be sexier. So, you know.
Was it not sexy enough?
We did not get to see what the women's league looks like.
I mean, I just posted some pictures from it. Like, it looks like women fighting, not like it's not like sexy thing.
No, it is not. And the men's pillow fighting is also that was what was on, and it's very serious, actually.
What is in the fill in the pillows? Because if that's like a down pillow, it's a very different experience than if it's a memory foam pillow.
Yeah, that's Tempur-Pedic brand right there.
Yeah, unclear what the fill is. I would have to go back and check. The woman that was like sitting next to me at the bar did check and told me that the official competition pillow weight is 2.2 pounds, and they have handles, and you have to like hold on to the handle and then swing it with your hand.
An official combat pillow. Do you want to fight like the pros? Now is your chance. Our official PFC combat pillows are available for everyone. A patent pending design. 3 handles, triple stitched.
So like the Pro Pillow Fighting League, the championship, the Pillow Fight Championship, just reminds me like when you're playing with somebody and like, you know, they accidentally catch you really good. And then it's not a joke anymore. You're not play fighting anymore. This is just serious. And the Pillow Fight Championship is just the serious part of that. There was no play fighting, just seriousness.
I also watched on ESPN News. Once you got me onto ESPN News, I also watched the Golf Foot Championship, which is soccer golf. So
foot golf. It's foot golf. I've actually played it.
Oh, how is it? I guess it's fun.
It was a little bit harder than I thought it would be. So I'm like, hey.
It seems very hard. Like, well, I can't control where my kicks usually go anyways.
Well, I mean, like, you know, I played soccer in high school and everything. So I was like, okay, this should be easy for me. Like, this should be good. Even though it's been like 20 some odd years since I played. I'm like, you know, I know how to kick a soccer ball. Essentially, it's fine. But what they do is they set up a course on like an actual golf course. So basically, you're teeing off essentially in the same spot where like somebody from a golf course is teeing off, maybe like in a different box. The hard part for me is just like the distance of the kick is incredible. Like you'd think like if you were like a goalie and you could boot it like, you know, halfway across the field, you have no problem there. That's fine. I was, you know, like a left back. I did not have that much of a leg. Essentially, I could just get it out of trouble and just keep it away from people. So it was a little bit harder. The fun part was just like wearing the really, really knee-high Argyle socks for the hell of it.
I like that.
Which was fun. That was a blast. And, you know, trying to putt on like an uneven surface, like you're typically putting like maybe off the side of the fairway or in like a mowed down area of the rough. So right. It's not like flat. And so you have to kind of like read a kick, which is a little bit different than like, hey, you're just trying to pass it to this one person. So it's a little bit different, a little bit more touch. And then like the cup it's like a big like bucket.
Yeah, it's like a giant bucket.
Yeah,
right.
it's fun. They used to have a course here in San Antonio, but I think no longer anymore. The golf course was the one that was right across from like the AT&T Center, now the Frostbank Center where the Spurs play. It was fun. I'd do it again, but you know.
Should I pick up disc golf as I get older? Is that like something my age?
I played that all throughout college also. I was really good with that until I threw out my shoulder and had shoulder surgery. Yeah, that was fun.
I had a friend in high school who took me out disc golfing.
Uh-oh. Lose
Joey,
Joey?
you're muted.
Like, I had a friend, and then the friend was like, you can't tell this story.
Yeah. No, no
Joe,
volume
you
at
are
all.
now
Joe.
silent
Joey.
but
Joe's
not
done.
muted.
Your friend is just like, I will not let you tell this froth story at all.
Well, while
Check your mic and see if it's plugged in.
while he's doing that, I will talk about the other thing I watched, which was beer stein holding.
Oh, is that like the?
You hold
Oh,
you hold the beer stein straight, so it's not the one where you
Yep.
have to carry a bunch at once. It's holding one beer stein. I want you to talk about the rules here.
I
Well-
encountered that at Hofbrauhaus. That sport is legit.
I
So-
love the one guy that was just like shaking and just trying to hold it, and like
Oh, yeah.
he was like, I was dying, man. I was dying. I'm like, dude, just give it
there
up.
are
He's like,
there
no.
there are three rules here. One, the thumb rests on fingers, not on handle. The stein must be held away from you, not sideways. 2, slight arching of the back is okay. Offhand must remain by side. Leaning in any direction is verboten. 3, any amount of beer spilled is a disqualification. Judges will determine if any drips present are condensation, sweat, or beer. I want any sport where those are 3 options. Condensation, sweat, or beer.
It's like the movie Beer Fest, which I was allowed to watch way too young.
That is a movie that I can watch anytime. Like that and Super Troopers, like those 2 movies I can watch literally all the time, anytime. And Beer Fest is absolutely one of my favorites. Yeah, just like that. And those giant fucking Hofbrau, like especially those heavy ass steins. I tried to steal one out of Hofbrau in Munich, like thinking if I just wrapped it up in my hoodie and tried to carry my hoodie out that they wouldn't catch me.
How'd that go?
And some dude was just like, "Can I see what's in there?" I went, "No." He goes, "Can I see it?" "Yes." "We need that back." "Okay." They were nice to me. No, the Slammin' Salmon is not the best Broken Lizard movie. That movie,
It's underrated. It is underrated.
It's the best one. I like Michael Clark Duncan. Like, what a performance!
we do well. Let's do plugs, and then we'll do college football news since we're all out of order tonight. Plugs tonight. We have our Discord as always. Pay us $5 a month. You should skip a latte, one latte per month, so I can buy one extra latte per month, and you get to talk to us live. You get to talk about, I don't know, whatever you want to talk about with us. And
You
folks
get
in
to talk
Discord.
about how you're subsidizing Jordan's latte habit.
Exactly. I'm just gonna give the money straight back to not the Duncan brothers one. Not Duncan brothers. Not the Dutch brothers. I go to Scooters now. Scooters are my people.
Let me just open the conversations pit. I'm going to scroll back 6 hours and see what they were talking about.
There we go. While he's doing that, also on the Patreon, you get access to our paywall Subtext posts and our Patreon pod, Commish's Corner, which we are starting back up pretty soon. We have our merch store, sickoscommittee.org. We have our safety alert gear, as well as our Ladies is Sickos line.
Yeah, I finally got that put up.
Thank you, sir.
I put it up on, what was it, like Women in Sports Day? But then I forgot to tweet it. Like, I put it up. I was like, hey, I did it at lunch, and then I got distracted.
It happens.
And then I totally didn't tweet at all. And I was like, okay. And I realized, I was like, oh my God, now it's Friday. I'm not going to say I tried to do it. I got distracted.
We have our YouTube channel. We have our Instagram channel. I'm pushing Instagram more. I have bespoke content for Instagram. Promise you.
Instagram exclusive content.
Yeah. It literally says that.
It does.
In our Substack, we have our best season of all time series for teams who stopped having a football team.
Yeah.
Marquette just dropped.
Well, that was last Friday, but I got another one coming out tomorrow, which is Monday. And so this would be yesterday when you listen to this pod.
New York Times mistake. What team is it?
It is the Gonzaga Bulldogs.
Go Zags.
By the way, 6 hours ago, the Discord was talking about Dutch Cinderella, which is apparently called Ass Poster.
Love it.
Yeah. Join again, that's worth $5.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I have gotten $5 worth of enjoyment out of that Discord for every month I've been part of it.
This Discord was essentially when we joined it in 2020 during COVID in the height of the pandemic. Personally, for me, it was like a mental lifesaver. And this is where we were formed. So we're a part of a larger Discord. So we have like specific channels for the committee and everything, but there's so many other channels. And I mean, really,
I have Cannibals content in a moment I want to talk about.
I mean, there's a ton of stuff that we always share. And I mean, everybody's friendly. We have a good time. A lot of fans of. The fun thing is when you join, and then if you go to the name, image, and likeness channel, you can say who you're a fan of, and then find out how many fans that you're have your same fandom, like almost immediately. and it's kind of ridiculous that I think we had somebody that come in the other day, and I forgot he didn't have the same fandom, but his first name was the same as like 9 other people in the Discord, and so just the giant hive of all the same first names. I think it was Adams.
Yeah, we have lots of
Yeah,
Adams.
it was just like the Adam crew just came out of nowhere to welcome another Adam to the Discord.
We also want to shout out, of course, the Message Board Geniuses podcast. They tread into the places that we dare not tread because message boards are crazy and will make me crazy. And lastly, our partnership with Home Field Apparel. They have the softest, most comfy, officially licensed gear for tons of colleges and universities across this country. If you need a shirt or some sweatpants or a hoodie or whatever, use offer code yes, yes. That's 3 ha's for 15% off your first order. We also have our Sicko Shirt Showdown. Last week we had our women's basketball showdown between UConn and South Carolina, and our men's basketball between Boise State and Utah State. Those are still up. As long as those shirts are available, you get 20% off of those if you use offer code
25%.
So 25.
Yeah.
If you use offer code
committee.
Not a Sicko Shirt Showdown, but for the yes, haha, yes, as the Sickos on Ice representative, they had the UMass versus UConn hockey shirts and sweaters that looked fantastic.
It looked great. I'm still working on the showdown for this week, and I realized that, I did not get to that this weekend. So, being a father of 2 is kind of rough sometimes. So, yes.
We have...
You can tell by my hair.
For our college football news this week, first off, we have a Bill O'Brien alert. Bill O'Brien, the OC at Ohio State.
The teapot.
The teapot was short and stout.
That's right.
He got thrown into Boston Harbor.
Yeah.
That's the thing that they didn't throw teapots into Boston Harbor, did they?
No.
I assumed there were some teapots too.
No, there were bricks of tea leaves.
I know, but there were probably teapots involved. They weren't being that picky, okay? So, anyways, Bill O'Brien ends up in Boston. He is now the head coach at Boston College after being the OC at Ohio State for 3 weeks. It was a short amount of time.
Hey, that's like 2 whole Scaramucci's.
But then Ohio State needs an offensive coordinator. And who do they get? Well, Chip Kelly said, I am done with you assholes at UCLA. I'm going to go be an assistant somewhere.
They're shooting fireworks in my neighborhood?
Probably. Lots of Chiefs fans.
Apparently. I'm just hearing the mortar shells go, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll get that checked out.
Yeah.
We got some pre-Mardi Gras celebrations, perhaps.
That's right. Pre-Mardi Gras. Yeah.
So Chip Kelly is off to UCLA. And that's funny because there was this whole thing of Chip Kelly's gone. They're going to fire him. And they don't. And then he gets destroyed by Cal that last game of the season, that so long farewell Pac-12 game.
Let's read the timeline of events. Come on.
Go for it. This is from Holly Anderson.
So this is from Holly Anderson. I added a little bit to the end here. So just want to make sure how strange the UCLA situation was. After a blowout loss at Arizona, rumors began to circulate that Chip Kelly was done at UCLA. They were going to fire him. UCLA then lost at home to Arizona State, who was playing a safety and tight end at quarterback, and the 24/7 site reported that he was getting fired.
I remember this.
Yes, he did the what happens in Arizona, doesn't stay in Arizona because at home against Arizona State was probably the bad one there, because the Wildcats were actually pretty good last year. Then the most visible major donor, the one who has his name on the football facility, then gave an interview to a secondary newspaper in Los Angeles, giving his full-throated support to Chip Kelly, including that players pass drug tests and get good grades.
Hey, but that's not as low a bar as you think.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's okay.
That's tough. Sometimes that's tough. Then UCLA crushes USC at the Coliseum.
That was...
So, they just lose 2 in a row, and then they beat USC.
Yes.
Then after that, at some point, they decided not to fire Chip Kelly. But then UCLA gets blown out by Cal. And
in the last Pac-12 network. No, I think it was the last Pac-12 game ever.
Yes, I believe we could be wrong there.
I think it was because I remember them because they kept having the "I will remember you" with like these shots of famous Pac-12 things.
It was the last Pac-12 regular season game.
Yes.
Okay.
ESPN going, who would kill this beautiful conference?
That's right. So they get blown out by Cal. So Michigan State then hired Jonathan Smith from Oregon State, who grew up in the shadow of the Rose Bowl and has been long been rumored to covet the UCLA job. Jed Fish, who would have probably crawled to Westwood, took the Washington job instead. This is after Kalen DeBoer took the Washington job in a year UCLA could have fired Chip. Chip, who makes $6 million a year, then began interviewing for approximately every offensive coordinator job in the NFL. He did not get any of them.
The NFL does not want Chip Kelly back.
Also, UCLA's defensive coordinator left UCLA and went to USC.
Yeah, went crosstown on that.
Crosstown. So that happened. There's also some weird stuff that happened. Apparently, Jed Fish still did interview for the UCLA job.
Okay, that has been such a fucking... I don't know where that information came from.
I don't
People
know.
have been screaming about that.
There's
Twitter.
The one reporter that has his own pay website that I met at the Alamo Bowl. I think it's Jason Shear. He's been talking about it a lot, and he was the one that indicated that Arizona was going to be the one that jumps to the Big 12. So he has some cred with me, because Arizona was kind of the one that was they finally did it, and that was pretty much it for the rest. Colorado did it first, but then that just basically did everything else from there. So it's a mess at UCLA, and Chip Kelly decides. I mean, he was trying to. Apparently, he interviewed for the OC job last year for the Browns.
Yeah, and
didn't get it. For the Vikings, I think, didn't get it. I believe there was he's been trying to get out of UCLA and to pull I'm going to call this the Satterfield situation. So this is the Scott Satterfield situation. You're about to get fired, and so you want to leave before you get fired because you don't want it to ruin your resume.
That makes total sense. Now that we've talked about it for a couple of weeks, that makes total sense. The idea of you can't fire me, I quit. Mm-hmm. Because it is a better move. Even where Chip Kelly ended up going, and let's be honest here, for a long time, Chip has been known to hate recruiting. Chip Kelly does not want to recruit. It's annoying for him. It's something he doesn't want to do. That's why they thought the NFL would be great, and it wasn't. So he came back. He was at UCLA. He managed to offload a lot of his recruiting to other folks on staff, which were very good recruiters. But it was never going to be this. Expectations at UCLA are never going to be super high. Like being the shit out of USC every once in a while is enough. Usually,
that
I don't
helps,
know.
Yeah, it essentially saved his job, but it still was just kind of again, he's got maybe one more year. I feel like Chip Kelly was living year to year at UCLA, and
it felt like when Clay Helton was at SC of just he's there's writing on the wall, dead man walking, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get tired of being a coach that's on the hot seat, and I'm sure that makes recruiting even harder. Yes. He hates recruiting, and then he's on the hot seat, and then now he's in Ohio State to be the OC. We got the New Hampshire Hive in Columbus.
This is what I love. So if y'all don't know, Chip Kelly, I think I've said this before, was at New Hampshire for a long time. I remember getting torched, watching Dartmouth get torched by New Hampshire, not realizing Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator when that happened. And I also didn't realize until this week that Ryan Day, head NPC of Ohio State, is in fact a quarterback from New Hampshire. He grew up in New Hampshire. He went to New Hampshire and was a quarterback under Chip Kelly. And apparently Ryan Day had followed Chip to a couple of spots afterwards too. And so now the apprentice has become the master. And so Chip Kelly is going to go and be Ryan Day's OC, which I don't think is great for Ohio State. Sorry, y'all. I like Chip as much as the next person. I don't think Chip has the same cachet he had 15 years ago.
No.
And I don't think that that's going to help solve whatever problem you have at Ohio State. But it's funny. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, there is a strong live free or die New Hampshire hive at Ohio State, and it's so weird.
I'm
It's so
sure
funny.
like a lot of the Ohio State Buckeye fans already have "Live Free or Die" on the back of their trucks.
Live free or Buckeye.
I don't give a buck.
The other fun thing in college football was this week was, first off, Jon Sumrall seems to be having a great time in New Orleans right now. Jon Sumrall, the former coach of Troy.
It's Sumrall, but okay.
I said Sumrall.
No, you were saying Summerall.
Okay.
It's Sumrall.
Coach Sumrall, he just tweeted Mardi Gras or something along those lines. And I was like, okay, well, he's having a good time. And
what are you up to, Coach?
I don't forget what I tweeted back, but Commish asked a very niche question that I actually I had no clue what the question was. What was that question, Commish?
So there's a thing where you stand for the parades. So when a parade is coming by, you have two options essentially, to either stand on the sidewalk side or the neutral ground side, which is essentially what everybody else calls a median.
This is what I was confused about. What is neutral ground exactly?
So think about you're on St. Charles Avenue, which I don't necessarily know if everybody knows what St. Charles Avenue looks like, but really, I'll just throw an image in the chat. There's streetcar tracks in the middle. Okay. So in the middle of it, it's the neutral ground. So with the neutral ground, basically it's called a median, but at a certain time in Louisiana history, it was actually called the neutral ground because the sections were kind of divided between like French and Spanish and the history of New Orleans, whatsoever there. Okay. So in the middle, right here, right, that is the neutral ground side that you would be on to catch the parade, or on the sidewalk side, just basically like the sidewalks in front of the house, like the house that's on the sidewalk there. So I'll throw that in the chat too to give you a little bit more explainer. You can kind of see what there's like a video about it. I'm trying to figure if I can there's this weird thing inside of New Orleans, like the locals. It's like, what side are you on in this debate?
What does it say about you?
So there's it kind of, it's like, how do you deal with Mardi Gras? Which these crowds are ridiculous. They're nuts. But this is like the local section. You're not talking about like Canal Street or downtown or anything like that. That's pretty much going to be barricaded down on Canal and everything like that. You're looking at St. Charles. There's no barricades. There's people that form these ladders with like, they put the kids up at the top of the ladder and like little bucket seats and stuff like that. Okay. But so the neutral ground is my preference. I'm a big neutral ground person because there's a lot more room. You're not like condensed there. And then really you're not in front of somebody's house, essentially. You're not confined to like maybe like the smallness of the sidewalk itself. The sidewalk itself in New Orleans, and you're on St. Charles, there's trees coming out of the sidewalk. There's giant like oak trees and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's very confined. The neutral ground side, which is essentially it's up for anybody. It's up for like nobody can like claim it, even though there's people that try to throw down like tarps and like stuff to claim, like throw a bunch of chairs and ladders and try to claim all that stuff. But to me, the neutral ground side is kind of like for the people, the normal people that don't live there, that don't have an in with somebody that has like a house on the sidewalk side. I feel like the sidewalk side's a little bit uppity. Not necessarily like, hey, we got a bathroom. Because we're staying at this house
where
here.
Where do you pee if you're on the neutral
There
side?
is a song for Mardi Gras that's called "Ain't No Place to Pee on Mardi Gras Day," and there really ain't. Okay. Unless you got like you will pay like $3 to go pee at a porta potty or something, whatever you need to do to relieve yourself.
This is Urinetown. I'm describing the plot of Urinetown.
It is. It's Mardi Gras Day. You're gonna do it. There is a song about it.
It is a privilege to pee.
I was in Urinetown in my high school.
But this is something that I wanted to know. I'm like, hey, are you like, are you neutral ground side? Are you sidewalk side? And, I was trying to figure out if, like, which one is Coach Sumrall. And so he replied back, he's neutral ground side. So I'm like, all right, Tulane has made a great hire. My whole opinion on
That's
that
all you need
hire
to know. Yep.
was all I needed to know, neutral ground side. And then Tulane football agreed with it. Okay, we have a position on this. Tulane football is now neutral ground side. Amy Just, she was a reporter in New Orleans for a while. Now she's covering the Nebraska sports. She's in full agreement with me. The one thing about Sidewalk Side is it's extremely claustrophobic. So, like, if a band is coming by, like the St. Aug Marching 100, St. Augustine, the band, like, they will push you back and you're going to be smushed with people. On the neutral ground side, you're fine. You got a whole bunch of neutral ground. It's never that packed. They stop running the streetcars, so you don't have to worry about getting crushed by a streetcar. It's great. It's a good time. And that's where I like to hang out the most. And you just camp out, throw an ice chest, claim your little spot on the neutral ground. You don't have to worry about some house owner coming out. You can't stay here. This is in front of our house. I've been kicked out a few times before.
Do you mean to tell me that the neutral ground is free real estate?
It's free real estate. That's right.
Beth, when's the last time you watched a parade and that you weren't in a parade?
Wow. It's probably the last time I saw the Mummers Parade, which would have been 2007.
Yeah, I figured it had been a while because
it's been a long time.
I've seen parades lately because I go with my kid to them.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I had not actually been at a parade that I was not marching or walking in a long ass time.
Should we perhaps back up a step and explain the Mummers Parade?
What is
this
that?
a thing people know about?
No, I have no clue.
Beth?
The Mummers are a befeathered and besequined group of, I think it's all dudes. Is it all dudes?
I think so. This is
so like there's all of these Mummers groups, and on New Year's Day they have a parade in Philadelphia down Broad Street. That is just the loudest thing imaginable.
I like it.
Let me find some pictures of the Mummers Parade.
It is somewhat controversial among Philadelphians, in part because it's very loud on New Year's Day when everyone is hungover.
Gotcha.
And in part because it just sort of gets out of hand in the same way that SantaCon kind of gets out of hand, from what I understand.
Okay.
So, but yes.
This Wikipedia page has a controversy section.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I used to live in the town Lorena McKennett's from, who did the Mummers Dance song, so I'm vaguely aware of the parade only in that way.
Yeah. The Mummers Parade is held each New Year's Day in Philadelphia, started in 1901, and is the longest running continuous folk parade in the United States.
That is fancy. I like those costumes. Those are great. Okay, it's way over the top. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like...
It reminds me of the Mardi Gras Native Americans. I'll just say that. They call them something else, though, but they're very decorative that way, too.
No, like I finally saw a parade and I was like, you know what? I don't like watching parades. I realize I don't like sitting around. It's hot. I don't like this. My kid liked it. I'm fine. I once you start marching in parades, I feel like not just watching them is no longer interesting, but that's just me. I prefer to move.
Oh, let me wish everybody happy Mardi Gras because this is coming out on Mardi Gras Day.
Woo-hoo!
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy Mardi Gras.
What is one supposed to do on Mardi Gras? If you're not going to a parade and getting like crazy hammered, what do you do?
Okay, so
eat pancakes.
Stuff a Barbie in a donut.
May your croissants be delicious.
You need to pretend you are going to the parade. The first parade is Zulu. It starts at 8 a.m.
Okay.
So typically what you do is you stay up all night and party through Lundi Gras, which is Monday Gras.
Yeah.
And then you called
Lundy?
Lundy.
It's French.
That's Monday.
Is that how you guys pronounce it?
Lundi Gras.
Okay.
You want me to say it in like actual French?
Lundi.
Well, I've never heard anyone say it like that. I went to a French
Lund-
school for a couple years, so that's
Yeah.
I had to.
But
clarify.
it's it's the combination of like the Cajun French, Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
You want me to?
I'm not making fun. I had to clarify.
No, it's the New Orleans accent really hits it hard.
It does.
And so you just stay up all night, whatever. If you want to, you can sleep for like 5-6 hours, whatever, or just not go to the Monday parade and just wake up early as shit to get to the neutral ground for your parade. You try to get a box of fried chicken for breakfast, and then as soon as you bite into the first drumstick, you got to go with the drumstick first, and then you crack your first beer and you're ready to go. That's breakfast.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what you do. You're good. You typically will have like a little mini cooler of pre-made Jello shots, or just like a couple handles of whatever type of mixed drink that you made. What my favorite thing we used to make for Mardi Gras was rum with great Bludini Kool-Aid.
Sorry, what?
Yes, it was great. So it's like one of these big giant plastic jug containers that had like a seal, and instead of making like Kool-Aid, you would add water like to make the Kool-Aid, but then there's a bunch of rum in it, so it's just like a giant, big giant. You could use Malibu.
This is like a proto Borg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard of the flavor Great Bludini. Had to look it up.
Great Bludini. It was the best flavor for this. It was amazing. Yes, there's a squid. So yeah, that was one that we used to do. There also, there'd be some Jello shots. Just whatever. You'd have the what do people call it? Like Jordan in Dartmouth, what do they call like the beer bong? Was it called the beer bong?
Yeah, beer bong.
Okay, not like the funnel. You want to funnel a beer or whatever?
Yeah, that too.
Okay,
yeah,
whether. You have that. You have a good time. Yeah, it's just great. You just bring all that stuff out there. I remember at one point, like people would walk by us because we had like 4 ice chests and they were trying to buy beers off of us. It worked.
Yeah.
Whatever. I had my vendor's license. It worked out right. Sure, but
I'm sure that was a licensed event.
Yeah, licensed event. Totally. I can serve alcohol, right? This works. Nobody's stopping you. It doesn't matter. But yeah, really, typically what I do on Mardi Gras, since I'm not there, I would have a king cake, which I have a king cake mix. I bought the Mama Paul's king cake mix. I'm going to make one. And then I'm just going to get some Popeyes. And then, I'll have beads or whatever. I'll let the kids play with the beads. But beads are... There was a point that we had so many beads in our attic, we didn't know what to do with them. It was just like you have beads everywhere.
Never
like,
had
what
this.
do you do with
never
these
had this
beads?
problem.
And then like they'd throw cups, and then like so all like your non-fancy china are like Mardi Gras cups. Like you drink your normal grape Bludini Kool-Aid out of the the parade cups.
It's like how everyone in Texas has a Dickie's barbecue cup, but I've never been to Dickie's.
Everybody would have their Mardi Gras cup.
That makes sense.
The crew of Bacchus, you're drinking like orange juice out of the plastic Bacchus cup after you wash it, of course, in the dishwasher.
Are cups common throws? I've never been to Mardi Gras.
So it's like cups, doubloons, and meads. That's the main thing. Zulu is known for their coconuts, which they used to throw, but not anymore. They can only hand those off.
I fucking wonder why.
Yeah. The Zulu coconuts are like hand painted and they're like hand decorated, so they're all unique.
Yeah, and they're still gonna hurt you when
they're
hit
awesome
you in the head
when you get thrown. So they gotta hand them off now. That's just one thing that you got to do a handoff with the coconut.
Fucking this is woke culture coming from me.
How dare us not let them get hit by a coconut.
The only thing I remember at Dartmouth was that on Mardi Gras we used to have wind band rehearsals every Tuesday. Also, by the way, I want to shout out someone real fast. My wind band director just passed away. He was very old. That happened. His name was Max Culpepper. He was an amazing dude. He was someone who had been at Dartmouth for ages and was very much leaned into the idea that we are just a weird bunch of group of kids. We're not going to make amazing things, but we can do some fun stuff. He was great. Shout out to Max. He was amazing. So after wind band rehearsal on Tuesday, we'd go over to food court and they would have a Mardi Gras day. And they would actually make like alligator tail and they would do like proper Mardi Gras food and have the big celebration and everything. But most importantly, they'd have Bananas Foster. And
New Orleans cosplay.
And so, yeah, right. And so they would actually have do Bananas Foster, light the thing on fire over ice cream. But if you got there at the end for $2 on your debit card, they would pour you a shot of cooking rum.
Woo!
And so we'd sit there and just get fucking hammered after rehearsal, drinking shots of cooking rum, the worst rum.
When I worked in like catering in the restaurant business in New Orleans, once the Sunday brunch was over, that cooking rum was pretty nice. I'll say that.
Commish,
it was fun to be a bartender too. I'll just say that.
Commish, I need to see you make a Bananas Foster. When I come down, I'll bring the stuff, but I want you to make a Bananas Foster for me.
All right. It's been.
That's why I want this.
Okay.
It's something you should know, but it's been a while, which means that there's a good chance things are just going to go up in flames.
You're not allowed to look it up. It's just off the dome.
Don't burn your house down.
The arm hair is going to be singed. I'm just going to say that.
It's from bananas. Yeah.
Like
it's from bananas and butter. What more is there too?
I mean, well, do they even sell one? Okay, the cooking rum is different, but the 151 we can't do that anymore because they don't sell 151 anymore.
I can have this thing. Cool.
Yeah. Well, Bananas Foster you can totally have.
You can totally have that. You could have that for breakfast. But yeah, the hair on my forearms is probably going to go away. I think.
You don't need.
It's fine. You don't need it. It's not critical.
I'll wear long sleeves. It's fine.
Right.
For those completely unaware, we should just say Mardi Gras is the celebration before Mark Wahlberg's 40-day challenge. If you didn't know,
that was another weird commercial tonight where there was apparently a Lint app that Mark Wahlberg was pushing.
Okay?
I missed that one.
Yeah, it was Mark Wahlberg had a commercial for the concept of Lint.
He's super Catholic, isn't he?
I believe that's the same app I've seen the guy from Wizards of Waverly Place shill, or How I Met Your Mother, if you know him from that, the kid.
Oh, that's right, he was the kid.
Beth, can I ask you a very important question?
Sure.
Are you in Foshnot region, or is this is Altoona Pashki region? What is your Mardi Gras, or as it is known in my corner of central Pennsylvania, Foshnot Day pastry of choice?
I don't know. I'm not sure what it is here. Yeah, so I will have to do some research and get back to you.
Okay.
So what are the differences between those two things?
Yes.
That's basically going to be me going downstairs and asking my mother.
Okay. So I am from South Central Pennsylvania, which is super German. And the Mardi Gras, same observance, but here it is known as Foshnot Day. Foschnots are German donuts. They are generally made with potato flour, which is what is unique about them. They often, not always, are square and generally are rolled in powdered sugar. Cinnamon ones are available. There's various kinds of Foshnot, but generally speaking, they're plain or powdered sugar. Pashki are Polish, and they are generally round and generally have jelly on the inside and generally are not made with potato flour. Both very good, but as I am a South Central Pennsylvanian originally, I am a Foshnot partisan.
I would bet that Altoona is almost split evenly between those two, given our demographics, which is probably why neither of those two pops immediately into we're in this part of the region. I would bet we are the line of demarcation.
That would make sense.
You're rocking with gnocchi donuts?
I mean, yep.
I mean, we turn it into candy. I don't see why.
But yes.
Shout out to PA Dutch potato candy. Forever. I'm going to mail you some. It's wonderful.
Do it.
No, you absolutely should.
Send me more stuff.
Send me
more food.
I don't have a lot of good, Mardi Gras stuff because where I'm from just wasn't a thing. And then Ash Wednesday was just the day when I was in elementary school at private school that I got the weird thing on my head. And just Ash Wednesday being Valentine's Day this year is also extremely a weird confluence.
Yeah, man. Early Mardi Gras sucks.
I love you. Unto dust you shall return.
You've got a combo, right? Because you've got Mardi Gras and you've got, or not Mardi Gras, you've got Ash Wednesday, you've got Valentine's Day, and you have the release of Madame Web in theaters. So a whole lot of things colliding right there.
Can you ask the priest to put a little heart in your head?
It's
literally waiting my turn to say that, Jordan.
It's my kiddo's 100th day of school. So he goes 100th day of school, Mardi Gras, Valentine's Day shirts, like 3 different theme shirts to start the week.
Oh God!
I
I gotta do Valentine's for my kids. Shit.
All I know is I was driving down the road earlier today, and all the fire halls have their fish fry signs out.
Oh, yeah.
And so like I am ready.
I am not happy with the price of crawfish. The price of crawfish is too damn high. But with the drought last year,
what with the economy and all,
the drought really hit it hard, and then like it was very cold in Louisiana, which kind of, so like that combo, they're going for like 11 a pound.
Jesus Christ!
Which is like snow crab numbers.
Yeah,
for crawfish is just not. It's not. And then, I mean, I may have lost my crawfish connection in San Antonio because he's given up the business. So
was it crawfish that had the stock market ticker on Louisiana News?
They do have that. They do have the crawfish price index, the CPI. Again, rest in peace to my San Antonio crawfish hookup, Cayenne Kevin. Rest in peace.
I think from now on, anytime we
He's
discuss
not dead.
Salary,
No, he did pass away. Yes.
Oh shit! Sorry, he's actually dead. No, actual rest in peace, crawfish Kevin.
Cayenne Kevin.
Sorry, Cayenne. Oh. I didn't know he was.
He was.
I thought you just said he quit the job.
Well, he quit the job. Okay, I didn't.
I
didn't want to say like this man had cancer and a stroke and everything like that. It was like it was sad, but I was just trying to say recipe. And then you did that. I was trying to keep it light, man. Like recipes, Kevin.
Plans.
God, bounce the ball. Keep it light.
He's been my hookup for a decade here in San Antonio.
Yes.
On an entirely unrelated note, I think this year might finally be the year that I find a Polish Catholic church and get the good pierogies during the fish fry season. Because I don't like fish. But most of the Catholic churches around here have like little old ladies making pierogies. I think it is time. It is time.
Agreed. Okay, folks. Some of us have things to do in the morning, so we got to bounce out of here. This is a short episode, short and sweet. I'm sure it was very focused.
That's right. Happy Mardi Gras, everybody. Eat some fried chicken. Be merry. Can't eat meat on Ash Wednesday, though, which is always fun for me.
I mean, I can because...
Well, I mean, this is the one thing that I do.
Fish ain't meat, and neither are vegans.
Okay, folks. That's what I got for today. We will talk to you on the other side.
Punts.
Everybody!
Punts.